All right, you guys, welcome to the video. I got a little bit of an interesting little topic. I've been seeing this going around and I felt very compelled to just give y'all my thoughts on it, considering that I've talked about this a few times. So for those of you that don't know, Halle Bailey, the Little Mermaid, has had a child with DDG within the past, what is it, year? I think the baby's like 6 or 7 months old, really young baby. So there's been a bit of an issue. Apparently, he took the baby onto Kai Cenat's stream yesterday, and she put out this tweet. So I'm gonna just go ahead and read it, and I want y'all to give me y'all thoughts. I'm gonna tell y'all what I think. She says, "Hi everyone, just so you know, I am out of town and I don't appreciate of my baby being on stream tonight. I wasn't told or notified and I'm extremely upset to have my baby in front of millions of people. I am his mother and protector and saddened that I wasn't notified, especially when I'm out of town." Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all like a couple of the little clips of the whole situation. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna analyze this and try to have some nuance because I feel like the nuance is really lacking. So I just want to provide a couple different opinions I have about it. First of all, let me just admit my stances from the front so y'all don't have to make any assumptions. DDG, I have a video talking about him extensively that I uploaded maybe like 2 months ago, where it was talking about like his impact and things like that. I personally think DDG is like one of the pioneers of the Black content creator space. Like, he laid the blueprint for all of these people we watch now. So understand, any criticism I have for him is not taking away from like what he does, his impact or anything, because some people seem to think that if you criticize something specific, you're trashing the whole person. That's not what we're doing here. So DDG fans, hop off, calm down. Okay, this is a nuanced conversation for people that want to actually have critical analysis and actually think, because to me it's way deeper than just DDG and Halle. I think this is a problem with the whole social media sphere and internet age we're in now, and a lot of people, I think, are not understanding the gravity of how you have to protect your kids in this online era. Okay, I personally have a very radical stance because I realize I'm in a minority with this, right? I'm not trying to convince no one what to believe, but as a child that grew up in the internet age and with social media being birthed like in front of my eyes, a lot of times people don't realize the impact of things or the depth of how serious things can get until something happens. And I realize maybe some people haven't taken care of kids, right? I'm not a parent, but I've taken care of kids my whole life. I've basically helped raise my nieces and nephews since I was a little kid. So I just have a very protective and motherly like perspective when it comes to protecting kids. I'm pretty extreme to the point where I feel like, honestly, no one should post their kids online. Like, so this applies to DDG, Halle, everyone. It's not just about them. It needs to be a conversation on protecting kids. We just saw Cardi B and Offset get on here the other day talking about someone created AI generated child corn, we'll say, right? Child corn of their kids. We just saw Taylor Swift and some other people the other year have AI corn created of them as well. So when you put your kid online, you're subjecting them to things that you can't control. And as a parent, I wouldn't know what to do in that situation. So I felt, just off of a hunch, that when Halle had this child, she probably wouldn't want him to be online. And we saw that she took that stance at the beginning. I told my bestie, I said, hey, DDG is about that bag. DDG used his own family, his own sister, his own baby nephew for content. There is no way that this man is going to allow her to keep him from posting the baby. When she didn't want the baby posted at first, he would sneak little Snapchat videos of her with the baby bump when they weren't even announcing a pregnancy, right? They kept it on the low. But he is the one that kept trying to sneak in and get little angles, and you know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm sorry, fans, I wanna show my son, but his mom just doesn't want him to. So it's like building this like pressure to get his son shown online. I supported the stance of no kid online, because there's too much that you can't control. Once you put them online, their whole childhood being subjected to commentary and thoughts, You don't get to only have positive comments coming in about your kids. You don't get to only have positive energy being sent your way. And personally, for a new parent, a new mom, a new baby in particular, I feel like that's too much external pressure, too many external thoughts being sent their way, right? As soon as they posted the baby, because I'm almost certain DDG pressed her until he allowed her to post a baby. They posted one picture like on the beach or something. And I was like, dang, well, I guess she gave in. Because if this man made his whole career off of doing content, he made his whole career off of turning his life into content, that is his choice. I don't have a problem with that. Because to me, you're an adult. That's your choice to deal with the negativity and all that and calculate and weigh, okay, financially, what I gain from this is worth what I deal with. You are an adult. That is your right, I feel, as a person, if you want to do that, right? So when it comes to the kids, they have no choice in the matter. So imagine this kid grows up getting turned into memes, all that, the bullying that the child might deal with because, oh, look, I saw that vlog where, your dad was vlogging you peeing for the first time. I'm just throwing stuff out there, right? But like, think about the family channels and all their child's milestones getting broadcast to so many people. It's like, I just need people to understand this isn't just, oh, I'm posting my kid, like posting a picture of my kid, which I don't think people should do. This is more than that. This is extracting value out of your kid, turning your kid into a cash cow. I'll just give y'all an example. Remember when baby Halo got turned into a meme where he was like looking like kind of funny on the train, the mall train or whatever? Someone else turned that into a meme. DDG, I'm almost certain, was so mad that he is not the one that turned the baby to a meme. That's how I felt when I saw the meme. Then probably a day or two later, what does he do? He goes to take the baby back to the mall train just to recreate the meme. That's how thirsty the man was for the clout. He said, hold on, I know this other page didn't post my baby and run up views and get bread off of that. I got to take part of this. When I saw that, I was like, okay, it is what it is. That's crazy. So I need people to understand there's a difference between just existing with your child and taking a picture with your child versus putting your child in every piece of content that you can possibly think of. There's certain moments that people need to realize need to be protected with your kids. I'm sorry, your child's moments, their first time talking, crawling, walking, doing anything should not be subject to public consumption. And this is not just directed at DDG, Hallie, none of this is directed at everybody. But it seems like in this country, it's okay as long as someone's making a bag off of it, right? It's like we've seen the things, right, in the music industry, what happens to kids being unprotected by their parents. In the movie, TV industry, we've heard the stories, right? But now this is a new generation to where it doesn't have to be someone else exploiting the kids. It's the parents exploiting their kids, and it's okay because they have bread. Because it's a bunch of immature people like, oh, well, if I was a kid, I would want my parent to use me for content. If that meant I could get whatever toy I wanted and go wherever I wanted. And here's another problem I have. All the money that's being made by the parents off of their kids, and I'm talking about everybody, that child has no control over the revenue that's made off of them because they are subjected to whatever their parent wants them to do. So I'm not saying people aren't taking care of their kids. I don't mean that. There needs to be laws or some type of regulation where if the child's in the content, that money needs to be put into a trust somewhere for when the child is 18, 20, something. Because to me, this whole ecosystem of family channels and making content of your kids, to me, is disgusting. Because the way I look at it is, you as a parent are so lame as an individual. And this doesn't apply to DG because I'm going to elaborate on this point for him specifically. But in general, most of the people that are pimping their kids out for content are so lame and uninteresting themselves that they have to turn their kid into the content. I saw a TikTok of a lady where she was like teaching her daughter how to write and everything. And it's like, okay, it's cute or whatever, but like, why are we seeing the behind the scenes of your child having integral and foundational moments of their childhood? That needs to be protected. Everything does not need to be consumed. Stop turning your kids into something for people to consume. They are a person. They are a child. They should be able to have their childhood without all these other people like witnessing and commenting on and think piecing their existence, right? Like, this should not be a thing. I'm sorry. You should not be able to turn your child into a cash cow. I'm sorry. That's, to me, it's pathetic. It's pathetic because it's like, instead of you getting off your lazy ass and getting creative, getting innovative, right? And coming up with something that makes you entertaining or having a personality or bringing value to people, you're just turning your kid into the content, right? Even to the point where, look at the Ace family, where they had that incident where they were in the, I think they were in like Spencer's or something, and their child picked up a beep lollipop. Go look it up. Okay, go look up Ace family lollipop. I'm not gonna show it, right? But the child was literally playing with the phallus lollipop, and they were laughing because it was a clip and it was content. So it's like, the line between, oh, this is so cute, to like, this is crazy, is very thin when it comes to this content, because if it's all about the views, you got to do crazier and crazier stuff. So back to DDG. The reason why it's so despicable to me is he's actually talented and he's actually creative. That's why I'm holding him to an even higher standard. Any other parent that has their own career doing their own thing, because it's like, you actually don't have an excuse. Some of these other people are just desperate and trying to get out their situation, and their life sucks, so they're trying to use their kid as a way out. I could at least understand the desperation with you having no talent and being uninteresting, and you literally just having your kid, and you're like, okay, well, I guess this is it. But with you, like, as a talented person, it's even worse, because it's like, dude, you're telling me that you can't sit there and, instead of using your kid for content, come up with a creative video idea? It's easier to just put the child in front of the camera. I saw this man sit here and, oh, I'm gonna make a song with my kid, I'm gonna have him record. Like, bro, let it go. He's not even one yet, and you're trying to turn him into a segment on the stream. I'm sorry, it's pathetic, bro. And the reason I'm calling him out specifically, I've been called this with DDG. I used to watch him, right? You can call me DDG squad. I'm not hating. I'm not gonna deny his impact. I'm not gonna act like he's so like, no, he's not. That's why I feel so strongly about this. He's been wanting a family channel and to do family content since he was with Kennedy. When was that? He was like, what, maybe 20? He had been talking about it. So when he got with Hallie, I wasn't thinking they were gonna have a kid, but when I saw he had a kid, I said, oh Lord, that poor baby he not gonna know a normal life, because he's about to get put in every clip, every video, every TikTok, every Snapchat post. And what happened? This is what happened. Because the man already had an agenda of wanting to do a family channel. Do you think he wanted to do a family channel because, oh my God, that would be so cute? No, he's a very smart individual. He knew the bag that comes from just using your kids and putting them in front of the camera. So he's already knowing how this work from when he's 20. He was talking about doing family channels since he was 20. So just understand, it's not like he just want to show it. No, I'm sorry. If you want to be that obtuse, this is not the conversation for you. You're lacking a little nuance and probably a few brain cells, right? If the man is money driven and views driven, this man's whole career has been clickbait. That's his thing. So it's like, if that is the type of person it is, you have to take that into context when he does stuff like this. It's not just, oh, in isolation, oh, I got my son on camera. No, it's, I got my son on cam because it's beneficial. And then I saw a TikTok, random, it was crazy. I was randomly scrolling, and then he pops up in a podcast clip talking about how he got like 15 million views on a TikTok with Halo, and he only made 3,000. He said, oh, I only made 3,000 off of that. Come on, guys, let's get it together. Let's understand the type of person we're dealing with. The man complained about not making enough money off of his child. Come on, bro. Like, I just need people to stop being obtuse and act like they don't understand the agenda he has. It's not innocent. It is exploitative. So, surprise, surprise, Hallie has a problem with it. And of course, everyone's been bringing up, he just had Kodak Black on the stream, who is a convicted rapist, might I add, popping perks, doing trick shots with perks on the stream the other night. Then, what, 2-3 days before that, Kai got swatted. So that means someone has the location of his house, or people can find the location of the house that he's in, and who knows what could happen. Yes, they are co-parent. People are going to say, oh, that's his dad too. But when you're co-parenting, it is a group decision. And to the people that say, oh, well, she posts pictures of her son, the difference is it's consent. There's an understanding. Did we see Halle put out any tweet when Halo was on DDG stream? No. Right? Because like that's his space. There was a time where Halle was on a live stream on Instagram with Halle, because they had the baby right there. Is that a problem? No, because they have control over it. That's their space. That's their stuff. I'm sure she wasn't even okay with all the Snapchats and TikToks and all that too. But she's like, okay. But now it's like, hold on. You didn't even tell me you was going on Kai's stream and you got my baby over here in a space that he's not familiar with, where literally anything can happen on the stream. We're thankful that nothing happened. But yeah, that's your job as a parent, to protect your kid. I think what a lot of people are missing, your job as a parent is to be proactive, not reactive. I think that's what the masses are missing here. You don't wait until after something happens and then try to respond. As a parent, you're supposed to have foresight to think of every scenario that could happen that you're putting your child in and decide, is there something I can't control about this? If it's a lot of variables and things that's uncontrollable and you're not in your own space, a responsible parent is going to say, I don't want my kid there. Right? But a lot of y'all, I think maybe some of y'all haven't had responsible parents, so y'all don't know what that's like. Some of y'all maybe weren't protected the way y'all should have been, and I apologize for that. I genuinely have empathy for that. But yeah, there's a reason why a parent isn't going to let their child go sleep over at their boyfriend's house when they're 15. There's a reason some parents wouldn't let their kids go to house parties. Why? Is it because they're a party pooper? No, it's because they don't know what's going to happen in someone else's space, or they're calculating, this environment, XYZ can happen. What if my child gets there? Somebody spikes their drink. What happens if someone else is there? What happens if there's adults there? My kid is 15. Like, there's all these things that's running through a responsible parent's head that make them have the calculation of, my child is not going to be there. No, you can't go. To the kid, it's like, oh, but kids are not able to think that far ahead, right? So I just want to start there. So we're going to go through some of the little clips in the little moments from it, right? And I just want to say, like, to me, seeing all the dudes, like, should she have brought it to the internet? Probably not. But that's assuming she didn't already contact him. But I'm just imagining someone put it in a in a good way that kind of explained probably why she impulse tweeted about it. Because they said, imagine you're scrolling on Twitter and in one tweet you see Kodak Black trick shot in a perk on Kai's stream, and then the next clip you see your baby on stream and you ain't know he was gonna be there. So she probably in the moment, I don't want my child, I did not say he could be there, right? It's like, y'all got to give a little grace. A parent's job is to protect their kids. And the fact that people, their only idea in their mind is, oh, she just being spiteful. Is this not the same nigga that literally brought their breakup to the internet and she did not say something the whole time? Is this not the nigga that literally put in his song that he was jealous and insecure of his girlfriend? And that he would abuse his platform against her? This is the same guy that y'all are meat riding. Okay. And if you want the song, go look up the lyrics to Famous. Okay. Artistic expression. That's how he feels. So it's like, I'm gonna need people to please, like, take the meat out your mouth. Okay. Just for a second. And then maybe your ears can start working. And maybe your eyes can start working. And maybe the comprehension skills will come back. I'm just saying. So let's look at it. DDG responded to this. Halle responded to this. So I'm kind of giving y'all a little updated take on everything. So they said Kai showed DDG the Halle tweet and he pretended to not notice it.
No, that's good. That's good. What does this mean? Wait. Oh yeah.
I gotta give it some. That's funny.
Yes, good size, chat. Good size. Then
I think that's funny.
he got.
But it's like, bro, I'm telling you, this man know what he's doing. He literally uses his child like an accessory. And it's like, this, like I said, is bigger than him. It's a whole culture that people have where it's like, okay, yeah, you're exploiting your kids, but you're getting money off of it, so it's okay. I just don't agree with that. Like, I have to push back on that because, like, bro, you cannot protect your kid on the internet. And if you want to say, okay, well, neither one of them should put their kid on the internet, I agree. I agree. I'm not going to argue with you on that. This was funny. They said, Halo kept looking over his shoulder because he's not supposed to be there. I thought this was so funny. I thought this was so funny. This poor baby, bro. This poor baby. Okay, I wanted to show y'all Hallie's response, right? Since people said, oh, she doing this just to da 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 da. Yesterday, maybe I did overreact and shouldn't have brought it here. I know that Halo is always safe with his dad. I just don't like finding out with the rest of the world what my baby's doing. Thank you, Kai, for the gifts for Halo. Now, I do find it pretty ironic that a lot of people said women don't take accountability, and then she takes accountability, and then the responses I see is, oh, WPR response, oh, she don't mean this for real, oh, she's still not taking accountability. It's like, can y'all pick a side? I mean, I wish some of y'all would just say, like, y'all get no bitches. I really wish niggas would, like, make that more obvious on the front end. Like, I don't like women because I don't get bitches, and this is why I hate women and everything they do. Because, like, some people actually have nuance, and it's like a lot of these niggas do not. But I have to remember there is like a male loneliness epidemic going around right now, so a lot of y'all don't even know how to interact with women. But I digress. And then DDG responded, this was a few hours ago. I guess he did like a video talking about it, so I'm gonna let y'all hear what he said. I'm gonna let y'all know what I think.
Thing I don't like when people do, I don't like when people hate on Hallie. I don't care if people think she wrong or not, or if I think she wrong or right. She could be going through something mentally after having a kid that I can't understand as a man. So when situations like this happen, I try to handle it with as much grace as possible because Halo needs her, I need her. We need each other to create a childhood that's safe and fun and memorable for him. And Halo is the biggest blessing in my life. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't remember what life was like before Halo. And I wouldn't have him if it wasn't for Hallie.
This nigga yapping.
For that reason alone, like, I got unconditional love and respect for her that nobody can really change. And y'all gotta understand we going through a very different transition right now. We only been parents for 10 months. Now we going through like a little breakup, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all gotta understand we going through something, that's a little, it's hard for us. So when little stuff like this happen, it's really nothing. People go through this type of stuff all the time. I just don't appreciate when people try to put me against her, or it's like me versus her and all of this, and she's wrong and he's right, blah, blah, blah. Like, y'all can hate on me for as long as y'all want, but leave Hallie alone, man.
So I just wanted to say, like, I appreciated him putting this out because, there was a second tweet she put out where she was saying that, she's going through postpartum depression and, she's going through a lot and y'all don't take people serious until they snap. And then she deactivated her socials. That was yesterday before she came back with the recent post. And I just feel like people aren't really considering that. A lot of people don't even realize what postpartum depression is. And people have been bringing up the postpartum depression about, like, it just making things more difficult. Whatever was going on social media with DDG and the baby would probably make it more stressful to her. I mean, my theory, there's probably multiple things going on, but I kind of had a thought, maybe the way the baby's being used for content is a point of contention for them. And then after this, I definitely feel like I was right about that kind of intuition about it, because Hallie is a very private person. She doesn't post. I mean, she posts, but like, she doesn't, like, she's not doing vlogs of her life. She's not doing all this type of stuff, right? So they're a little bit different. Now, what I have to say to Hallie about this, like, I feel, okay, so you got with a person where you knew his character, you knew his values, and then you had a child with him. I don't know how you didn't foresee that your conflicting values would have an effect on how you parent your kid. Because if one person is okay selling out every single part of their life for content and doing anything for content, and the other person isn't, like Halle does the music, right? She does the movies. She's more of a traditional like celebrity, kind of like behind the scenes, kind of like on some Beyonce type timing. So they have very different ways of evaluating like their boundaries with social media and how they engage or present themselves. And Halle, you know, coming from the school of Beyonce, is very particular about the image and the way she wants things to be presented about herself, and I'm sure that would extend to the child. So they have two completely different ways of looking at it. And I'm just like, okay, well, Halle, you were a fan of DDG. You saw how he used woo wop, and that wasn't even his kid. So why did you think when you had a kid with him, he was gonna be any different? I just saw this man have his little nephew woo wop on his podcast the other week. He literally made woo wop have a song saying, I wanna my mom, I wanna my dad. So it's like anything for a viral moment, even if it means the kids. So it's like, why did you think that was gonna be different? You know, I'm not trying to like rag on her, you know, because sometimes like maybe you're blinded by the moment, you're blinded by love, you're not really thinking that far ahead. You're just thinking, oh, like I think he would be a good dad. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't think he's a bad dad, but I do think it's a difference in morals that leads to this issue. You know, and it's like, to me, this is something you should have been able to foresee. But hey, like, I know she's kind of from a religious background, so maybe she didn't believe in abortions. Not saying she should have aborted the baby, but I'm saying if it was a drastic difference in the values they had, that would be a thing where I'd be like, you know what, instead of bringing a child into this world where we disagree on what should be up for consumption, let's just not even have the child so that we don't have to deal with us being on two different sides of the coin in terms of like how we want things to be or how we want to present ourselves. So that's where I'm kind of like, that's what it, to me, the accountability, but it's like she can't do anything to like be accountable so that the child is already here. You can't like undo it, you know what I'm saying? But I do feel like that's a little bit of a thing where it's like, girl, you've seen how this man moved, you've been a fan of him, you've watched his content, so why are you surprised? But that doesn't mean that he can't change. He can change. It's not like, oh, this is who he is and it's gonna be no, like he can change. And I think when it comes to their kid, she probably just needs to set a hard line where neither one of them use the child in content or post a child. Like it honestly probably needs to be that. But that's pretty much my thoughts on it. You know what I'm saying? I hope that they can figure it out and communicate about it offline. You know, should she have brought it online? No. Ideally, no. But, you know, just like how when they initially broke up, not this last time, but DDG went straight online when they were having a disagreement and typed, oh, all these girls are same, sending hate and speculation towards Halle's way. So, you know, it's crazy how DDG says this, but then he does stuff, you know, to bring the attention, the negative attention to Halle by the way he handles stuff. You put a whole song out saying that I don't want to date no famous bitch. You literally called your girl a famous bitch in the song. Then you literally said you're gonna abuse your platform to manipulate her in the song. So, and then you said you're jealous. So it's like you're kind of doing it to yourself a little bit. Like, and then he was on burner accounts talking about her co-star. So it's like, it's a lot of things where it's like, Daryl, I'm sorry, I'm not fooled by this game. You're not fooling me. You created the problem and then you tried to create the solution. You did something that you probably knew was going to irritate her, right? Because if y'all have had conversations about, oh, I don't want my child here or there, don't use my child for content, you're doing too much, if they already had conversations about it and then he still brought the baby on Kai's stream, he probably knew it was going to cause a problem. Did he think she was going to tweet about it? Maybe not. But to me, I feel like he be knowing what he doing and he knows she doesn't like it and he still does it anyway. That's speculation, but that's just based on how he acts. It seems like that. So then you get to be Captain Good Guy and be like, oh, well, y'all don't send hate towards Halle. How about just keep the child out of it, and then you and Halle can co-parent in private, and then we don't have to be in y'all business. And then also for Halle, when fans were telling her how DDG was acting when they was together, she told us to mind our business. She told us to stay in our lane, which she has every right to do that. But you can't say niggas didn't tell you what type of guy this was. People was not hating. People just know who he is. If you grew up watching this guy, you know that he does anything for content. So it's like, girl, that's what you signed up for. So have fun. So the people that feel that way, you're not wrong. And in a way, I feel the same. Because it's like, girl, what you want us to do about it? This is who you decide to be with, and this is who you decide to have a child with. That's your problem. Okay, y'all deal with that. That's none of our business. You know, I just want them to take us out the group chat. Please take us out the group chat. We do not want to see y'all issues, please. But knowing DDG, now him having a child with her is going to give him the space to, number one, have infinite content. And then if there's any issues in the relationship, he's going to turn it into content. I just feel like they need to come up with an agreement, like maybe something written where there's hard boundaries on how their child is presented and things like that. But yeah, that's my 2 cents on it. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Leave a like, comment, and sub. Drop a follow to the Twitch link pinned in the comments. But until next time, you guys, we're outie.